You know, maybe it's a sign that I'm getting old, but hold on a second. There we go. Almost forgot this guy. Okay, maybe it's a sign I'm getting old, but literally every night I spend the evening with my folks, I just fall asleep and don't want to leave. I don't know. I guess it's just being surrounded by family is so nice. You know, it's great. But you know, I eventually did get here last night. But honestly, yesterday was such a really good day. In fact, honestly, my low right now is yesterday was so nice, and now there's nothing but white out. And it's so weird too, because I'll get to my high magic comments before. So my high was I did have a nice evening with my parents, especially my mom. I'll get to that in a second. And my act of kindness was I helped make dinner last night. I'll get to that in a second too. Good morning, happy Saturday, everybody. Okay, so wow, I said that really, really fast. So we were supposed to get a huge snowstorm today, right? And it's going on right now. But here's the thing. It was supposed to start at midnight with rain. And then it would eventually become snow like it is now. But here's the thing. I had to use the bathroom at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I look out my window, there's no snow at all. And I don't even hear any rain. Pretty sure we're in the clear. Wake up a few hours later. Snow. Lots of snow. Oh, well, it's a good thing it's a Saturday and not much is going on. Well, some things are going on. In fact, there's a thing going on in Market Street in Corn today I'm going to try and go to later this afternoon, provided that the weather permits me to do so. Right, I have a day to talk about yesterday. So, yesterday was a nice day. Weather was pretty solid. I mean, a little cool, but that was to be expected for this time of year. So, yesterday afternoon, my mom was actually off from doing anything. She was off work. She didn't have to watch my nephew. She was off. So, I called her, and we had a mother-son Rita's date. Yeah, I went on a date with my mom, okay? Shut up, it's totally natural. I love my mom. It was so nice, you know. I got my large Swedish fish Italian ice. She actually, she gets Swedish fish too, but she gets a gelati. That's basically, if you go to Rita's, a gelati is, they take a little cup, right? They fill the very bottom of it with their custard, then put ice over top of that and put more custard on top. Kind of in a way, it's kind of like a parfait, I guess. Only it's custard and, Italian ice. And my mom loves Swedish fish too, so that's what she usually gets. You know, we sat around, we talked a little bit, it was nice. And she had some errands to run. Well, first she had some errands to run, then she immediately had to be called in to the hospital because this one woman who's working there, didn't know what to do or something. So the things she wanted to do, she couldn't, so it was up to me to help get dinner started. Now, I'm waiting for, it's 6 o'clock, whatever. We're waiting for, my father and I are at their place. We're waiting for my mom. And, I'm at least going to get, dinner started. So, we can't have meat on Fridays. And you don't really need meatballs, sausage, or pork ribs simmering in sauce to have spaghetti. It's called spaghetti and meatballs, but you can just have spaghetti, as is without the meatballs. And, that's pretty much what we had. We had spaghetti with a garlic bread and a salad. My mom had made the garlic bread already. I just had to, put it in the oven. And, I boiled the pasta, saved a cup of the pasta water. You gotta save the pasta water. And poured in the sauce, and then, magic happened. It was great. And, I probably could have started the salad too, but my dad told me not to really do much. The sad part is, my mom gets home and she's like, Nick, why didn't you start the salad? I'm like yelling at my dad, I told you I could have started the salad. You know, that's pretty much what wound up happening. But, you know, I had my mom make salad. You know, I chopped up, she took care of the lettuce. She took care of, pretty much everything else except for the celery. I chopped up the celery, which, you know, that was good. You know, we had, the salad itself had, you know, lettuce, celery, carrot, red bell pepper, onion. There was like extra like blue cheese crumbles that we had, I think from the party on this past Sunday. So, you know, we had that. It was nice. It was a really, really wonderful, you know, evening. And then we're all watching TV together. I'm sitting next to my mom, laying like this, like, because I wanted to leave at like 8:30 and it was like 9 o'clock. Yeah, I'm not leaving 8:30. I was just so comfy and cozy, you know? But then eventually I did have to go home, especially with the possibility of the weather being what it is today. I mean, hopefully, you know, a couple hours from now, things are going to be, you know, okay and, you know, really won't be that much of a problem. But it's just so crazy that, you know, not 24 hours ago, it was bright and sunny and just like you never would have suspected there'd be a storm like today. And there is. I mean, I think because there's so much snow going on outside, I think like there's a whitish tint to like the screen right now that you're watching. It's so cool. That's okay though. Still got my green though. Actually, yeah. I think white and green. I'm pretty sure white and green make emerald, don't they? I think so. Oh, I always like the color green. Green is cool. So, yeah, honestly, this week went from being pretty depressing to downright uplifting. You know, honestly, because I mentioned before, I do suffer from depression. And, you know, there are days, and here's the thing, I don't necessarily identify with that because I will admit, sometimes I'm just like completely oblivious to it. You know, I really do try and keep a positive outlook on things. I guess like when it hits me, it really hits me. Like if I'm really looking forward to something and I'm told like no, that really gets me. What else? You know, I mean, I already mentioned a month ago that I had like the biggest heartbreak ever. You know, there was that was really sad, I guess. But definitely one thing I want to do, and honestly, I can't believe I didn't really think about this when I first made my New Year's resolution for this year, because I did say I was gonna, you know, be with family a lot more, but I still could do better. So definitely be with family a lot more. To be perfectly honest, my mom's working and my father's all by himself. I mean, I'm going to wait a little bit for the snow to clear so I can brave it out there, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It should still be, you know, interesting to say the least. Let's see what else is there. I mean, unfortunately, compared to last weekend, this weekend, especially with the weather being the way it is, there really isn't much going on. In fact, to be honest, the snowstorm threw off like everything. You know, to say this is an act of God is a very fair understatement, you know? Because one thing that was supposed to happen this weekend was this old place near where I used to live in Big Flats called Oldies But Goodies, and they were going to have like, you know, sort of like a vendor shop there this weekend. But because of the weather, they had to change it. But I think the one thing that easily took the biggest hit because of all this weather, and I really do feel bad because this would have been the first year since the pandemic started when they could actually have this. But Horseheads was supposed to have their annual St. Patrick's Day parade today. But again, because of all the snow, you can't really, kind of hard to march in, a foot of snow, I mean, they postponed it until next week, which is nice. I mean, 2 years of not being able to do it, we're due to have it again. Although it makes me a little bit sad too, because I'll never forget, right before the pandemic started, we were supposed to have another attempt at making the world's largest shamrock formed by a group of people. I took part in the first time it ever happened. I actually still have the poncho from that day too. And we were gonna try and re-break the record because apparently we didn't break the record the first time. So they're gonna get more ponchos, more people, it's gonna be great. Then the pandemic happens. I'm thinking if they're able to have parades again, we should attempt the world's largest shamrock. I really think we could pull it off again. I mean, I'm down for going to do it. To be perfectly honest, right before the pandemic started, listen, I tell my mom and dad, listen, I did this last year, but we need more people. And my mom actually found it really exciting. I mean, and I've told this story several times in the past, but when I took part in the very first Shamrock, I got there with 5-10 minutes before everyone started going into the field and getting in the Shamrock outline. If I'd shown up 5 minutes later than what I did, I would not have been able to be in it. That's how packed it was. And they insisted that there was going to be more ponchos, more people. Because honestly, they had 1,200 ponchos. And you easily had more than 1,200 people there. So if you didn't get a poncho, tough break. But I was able to get one. I was able to get in. And I was smart too. I was one of the first people in the field. And when they put you in, they first bring you along the outside of the shamrock shape. So, if you're if you're claustrophobic, I highly recommend you try and make yourself outside, near the edge of where the shamrock line is. Because you easily have the most wiggle room and stuff, you definitely have a wide open space. I know we're outside and, some people can still get claustrophobic even when they're surrounded by a bunch of people outside, they can still get claustrophobic. My mom has a little bit of claustrophobia, that doesn't make her, she could deal with being outside, it's all a matter of perspective. But man, I'm just really excited for this week. This week is St. Patrick's Day, man. I'm excited. It's what wearing this tie was leading up to. And it's going to be, listen, I'll be level with you. Of course I'm going to wear this tie after St. Patrick's. I wear this until the end of March. For those of you who are just tuning in and have never seen me wear this tie before. Listen, McDonald's had the Shamrock Shake well before February was over. And they're going to have the Shamrock Shake during sometime in April. I'm pretty sure that I'd be okay with keeping this on until March is over. Again, it's just like me making videos in general. As long as I'm not being chased by an angry mob saying, Nick, stop making videos or else we will destroy you, And I mean a legit angry mob. A real physical angry mob. Torches. Just like Shrek. Grab your torch and pitchforks. Angry mob, angry people with giant signs saying, don't do it anymore. Stuff like that. If that were to ever happen, to be perfectly honest, why would that happen? Because what are these videos gonna do to society, No, again, some people always complain about it. It's actually one of the reasons why I never name names, just because someone could easily be offended even when I'm trying to speak nice about someone, Don't you hate it when that happens? I personally do hate it when that happens. Wow, I rambled on quite a bit now, didn't I? But regardless, I'm really looking forward to this upcoming weekend. This weekend's going to be fine. I'm definitely going to see my dad a little bit later. a little bit later than I would have liked to because of the weather, but what can you do? You know, there's actually an event going on Market Street in Corning that a few friends of mine are going to be at. I'm going to try and see if I can swing along with because here's the thing. My father is I mentioned this before, my father is a very religious person, probably the most religious person in my family at this point. And he will always make an effort to go to confession before church. And confession is like at 3 o'clock, but he gets there like super early because a lot of people have sins to confess or whatever. I don't judge. I may actually go to confession too at some point. I mean, really, there's no limit to how many times you can go. And honestly, some people go years and not have it. Some people do it every week like my father. You know, you're free to do whatever you want. But honestly, I think I'll probably go. I should go. Honestly, you know, for a depressing week, you know, some of it really was my own doing. So I should probably own up to that. But again, take one day at a time. Spend time with family. You should spend time with your family too. And hopefully the snowstorm won't be so bad. Like, favorite, share, the subscribe button. Follow me on social platforms, YouTube. I'm your home. This video for all of you guys who are watching. Joe for the Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Remember, you want to talk to me. We're here to lend you. I'll be back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.